Hey Elsa! Long time no talk. So, Tom spilled the beans, but you're finally having a wedding. Is that for real?
Hey there, Agnes?
Yep, it's me.
We're actually going to have a wedding. Harold and I have been married for 5 years already, but we never got around to having a proper ceremony. It's something we always wanted to do, but life kept getting in the way.
Wait a sec. You mean to tell me you've been married all this time without a wedding? And now you're finally able to afford one? Guess being strapped for cash is tougher than I thought, huh?
What do you mean exactly?
Well, it must have been a struggle with Harold's income being on the lower side. But seriously, it took you guys 5 years to get to this point? You sure took your time. Sorry, I feel bad for you. By the way, Tom and I had our wedding right off the bat.
Agnes, we've talked about this, but it's not just about money.
What do you mean? I thought you both had to work your butts off just to make ends meet. Can you imagine not marrying a man who can single-handedly support a family?
Well, things have changed a bit since then. And besides, we actually enjoy our jobs. In the 5 years we've been married, we've never had any serious financial difficulties. If anything, our biggest challenge as a couple is finding the time to plan and have a wedding. We've been juggling different projects at the same time, and it's been a struggle to coordinate our schedules.
There you go again, making up excuses. Just be real with me and admit that you didn't save enough money. Just because I have more money doesn't mean we can be honest with each other. After all, we're family now.
I get it, but what I'm honestly trying to tell you is that our delay in having a wedding isn't solely because of money.
Oh yeah, totally. And I'm sure you both really just love your jobs too. Meanwhile, I'm living the dream life of a housewife whose husband takes care of everything for her. All I worry about is being there for my husband and a kid at home. In other words, I'm doing what a good wife and a good marriage should be doing.
I'm really happy that you are content with where you are in life right now. But I don't think it's fair for you to claim that there's a right way to be a wife. And I don't think there's anything wrong with wanting to work either.
Well, anyways, congrats on finally getting your wedding, I guess. Good luck paying for it and with your manager's salary, Spo.
Hey Tom, how's it going? I just had a quick question for you. Are you really going to let Agnes continue on as a housewife? I thought you said you'd get a pay cut and things were going to be a bit tight money-wise for you.
Hey sis. Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. Things are pretty tough since Agnes still isn't working at all. But I feel it's not often you message me. Especially about stuff like this.
Well, Agnes actually reached out to me to talk about my upcoming wedding. But she didn't know that Harold and I hadn't actually had one. But anyway, she seemed to assume it was because we were too poor to afford to have one.
Are you kidding me?
Not at all. She seems to have the idea in her head that if both people are working, that the couple must be poor. And then she started to put me down for not being a stay-at-home wife like herself.
I can't believe that she would say something so rude to you. Ugh, sis, you should not pay attention to anything that comes out of her mouth. I don't know what her problem has been, but she has just been causing trouble for everyone around her. To be honest, I think she has some bad influences with her friends.
Bad influences? What do you mean by that? Actually, come to think about it, I really feel like you haven't been looking so good. Is everything okay at home?
I really appreciate you asking, Elsa. But, yeah, I'm okay. Or, I don't know. Maybe I'm not really. I've just been so worried about all this financial stuff. It's kind of been driving me crazy.
Are things really looking that bad for you?
I was already barely making enough money to support the two of us without me having to work. It was enough to make sure that we were never wanting, but we certainly weren't living in the lap of luxury or anything. But when we had our wedding, I basically went through all of my savings to pay for it all. Originally, we agreed that Agnes would find a job once our kids started school and weren't in the house as much. But Agnes said it was always her dream to be a stay-at-home mom. And I think it's the other moms from the preschool who have been telling her that she doesn't have to find a job. I mean, her kid is already in school. Agnes said she would be working by now, but things haven't changed.
Wow, I had no idea about any of that. That is so much, and I'm sorry you have to deal with it.
Again, though, I think it's because all the moms from the preschool don't work. So I think that Agnes feels like she can't either if she wants to fit in with her new friends. She has it in her head that the only thing a wife should ever do is help her husband from the house. But if I don't make enough money for us, then that isn't going to be possible.
You mean that there really aren't any moms at your preschool who work? Wow, the other dads who send their kids there must be really loaded then.
That's the impression I've gotten anyways. So while I'm able to focus on my work, getting a raise is a totally different story. I've talked to some of the moms at the preschool, and many of their husbands are managers who run businesses.
Wow, so they really have an easier time giving themselves raises when they need to then, I take it.
You nailed it right on the head. And I've tried explaining this to Agnes, but she just refuses to listen to what I have to say. I told her that I really need her to work, but she just doesn't want to hear any of it.
Wow, I'm so sorry that you have to go through all of this, little bro.
It's really so much to deal with. She tells me that she works hard for the family at home, and that's her job.
And I think that there's nothing wrong with wanting to stay at home if your budget allows it, but you have to prioritize having all of the basics before you can just refuse to work.
And I know that, but it just makes it so much worse that she uses being a housewife as a way to put you down. It's really embarrassing, to be honest. So anyways, again, I'm so sorry that she's treated you poorly.
Ugh, Tom, you don't have anything to apologize for at all. In fact, I would like you to come over to my house once you finish work today. Harold has recently gotten really into gardening, and we have way too many vegetables that we need to give away. We would love it if you came over and picked out some of your favorite vegetables and took them home with you.
Oh, wow. That would be amazing. Thank you.
Also, we are of course going to invite you to our wedding, but I really would like to see you looking a bit better on that day. Just make sure you're taking care of yourself, okay?
Of course, sis. Thank you so much for listening. It means so much to me.
Of course. Although, I think I'd appreciate it if you didn't tell Agnes where you got the vegetables from. It just might make more problems for me in the future.
Oh, Elsa, I just wanted to say how sorry I am. I know that your wedding is today and all, but I'm afraid that Harold and I won't be able to make it.
Wait, neither of you are going to be able to come to our wedding?
We really wanted to be there, but we both have to stay at home to be with our kids. So sorry about that. Besides, we didn't want any bad influences on our kid from all the other poor people who would be there today.
Hold on a second. Is that why you're not going to come today? You think the people I invite to my wedding are going to have a bad influence on your child?
Of course they would. You're having a poor wedding for poor people, aren't you? I can't have my kids seeing that kind of thing. It would give the wrong idea of who it's okay to associate with. Maybe if you were to have a nicer wedding, things might have worked out differently. It's too bad you weren't successful enough to have a better one.
Hold on a second. Please tell me that you aren't serious about this. This would have been my child's first wedding. But I know that as his mother, I had to protect him from this so that his first would be a much nicer one.
There was no way he was ever going to be able to go to your wedding, get it? Besides, you'd have 5 years to plan this and you still couldn't afford such a shoddy affair.
Okay, Agnes. I have had just about enough of this. I don't know where you got the idea that my family was poor, but you are not going to belittle my wedding like this.
I'm not belittling anything. I could belittle your wedding anymore because it's already so tiny and sad. But anyways, as a mother, I have a duty to protect my kid from unsavory things like your wedding. Of course, you don't have any kids, so there's no way that you understand what I am saying. Maybe you'll get some money as a wedding gift that can help you start a family the right way this time.
Excuse me?
But, even though no part of me wants to expose my child to this kind of thing, I was convinced to change my mind. I got it! We'll agree to go to your wedding in exchange for giving you a wedding present. Our presents will be our present.
Agnes, you were not even invited to my wedding in the first place.
What do you mean by that?
I mean that you are more than welcome to stay home all day today if you want. And while you're there, watching your kid, your husband, my little brother, is going to be there for me at my wedding.
What are you talking about?
Look, there's Tom right now. I think we just about have everyone who was invited. Okay then. Thanks for watching the kid and letting my little brother come.
Now, you hold on 1 second. I had no idea Tom was going to be at your wedding. I even told him that he didn't need to show up if he didn't want to yesterday. And why am I the only one who isn't invited to your wedding?
Wow, I really didn't think you would be so upset over this. If I had known you felt so deeply about the issue, I might have actually invited you.
I don't care about your stupid little wedding. I just want to know what my husband thinks he's doing.
The thing that he also wanted to avoid having a bad influence on your kid. Tom told me all about how you guys are barely scraping by with the amount of money he makes. And with the meager kind of meals you've been able to afford recently, Tom didn't want to expose your kid to the high-quality catering we're having. I guess he didn't want his only child to realize just how poor you both really are.
Hold on. What are you saying?
I just mean that this wedding has been 5 years in the making. All of our friends and family are here in this venue that we'd made sure was beautifully decorated. Not only that, but we went to some of the best caterers in the city to provide the food and drinks. We are talking about a pretty fancy affair overall. You have got to be kidding me right now. I have no idea you were having such a nice wedding. That much is obvious. But anyway, we don't want to crush your kid's perception of his parents, so maybe it would be better if you stayed with him all day so that he doesn't know about any of this. Although I know that it's going to be hard for you after all. You're constantly complaining to Tom about how little you have to eat, right? I just also wanted to spare you the taste of the high life before you had to go back to scrounging for scraps.
Is this supposed to be some kind of joke or something? You're not supposed to be looking down on me. I'm supposed to be looking down at you. Don't you pretend like you're richer than me.
But it's nothing of the sort. I really am just worried about you and your son, and don't want to cause any drama at home. So that's why Tom agreed to come here by himself, as a representative for all three of you. That way, you could all save money by only sending one person.
But when you say that, it makes us sound like we're poor. We're not like you. We don't both have to work. My husband makes enough to allow me to stay at home full time.
Are you really sure about that? Because Tom paints a very different picture. Honestly, hun, you need to face the facts. We are poor. I could barely afford a wedding present for my own sister.
Wait, hun? Don't tell me this is Tom.
It is. And you really need to stop pretending like we are rich. And that it's okay to look down on people. I know that you really want to be a stay-at-home mom, but I think it's time that we face the facts.
What facts? What do you mean by that? You make enough money for me to be a stay-at-home mom, right?
Do you realize that I only had $5 left in my bank account after I bought Elsa's wedding present? How can you not be scared for us when that's the reality?
You only had $5 left?
That's right. You have no idea how hard it was to see that balance left in my account. I work really hard, but it always feels like we're still living right on the edge.
But I thought that there would be more money in there. There was at least $35 in there last time I checked.
Do you really think that that's all that much better? How can a family survive in an emergency if that's all they have? I need you to start working, Agnes. We can't keep going on like this. We need more money coming in.
No, I don't need to work yet. I'll just spend even less money, I promise. I'll try so hard to keep the house clean and take care of our son. Think of all of that I do so that you can focus on your work. Besides, all the other moms at the preschool don't have to work. It isn't fair.
I am really grateful for all the work you do at home, Agnes. I really am. But the fact is that we can't survive like this. And something has got to change.
You're really serious about this, aren't you?
I understand and really respect why women might want to stay in the home and take care of things there. The reality is, however, that we aren't in an economic situation where we can afford to do something like that. I mean, we have a kid now. We need to be able to save money for his future. We will be better parents by both working than not.
I don't know what to say. This can't be happening.
It is. And you and I are going to have a long talk when I get back home about how we, as a couple, are going to plan for the future. In fact, I'll be honest. I'm considering a divorce.
You want to get a divorce? You can't be serious.
I'm literally starving myself just so that you can continue with all this unsustainable dream of being a stay-at-home mom. I can't see how we're going to survive as a couple if this is going to be how things are.
Elsa, are you there? I need a job right now. I have decided to work, but I really need a job.
Ah, Agnes. Well, congratulations on coming to that decision. I think it's great that you want to start working, but I'm not sure you'll be able to find a job here.
Please, even an entry part-time position would be great for me. I can start as soon as I drop off my son at his preschool and go until I have to pick him up.
Well, that's good thinking. I think a part-time job would be great for someone in your position.
But the thing is that other part-time jobs pay so little. And no place is willing to pay me a lot because they don't think I have enough experience. Everywhere I look, I'm only offered minimum wage. So please, can you get me a job with your company? I heard from Tom that you actually make a lot of money. Like $100,000 a year. Well, surely you must be really busy if you're doing a job that pays that much, right? Don't you need like a secretary or something?
Is that what you would like to work as?
Yes.
And I need to be paid at least $30 an hour. Oh, and also, I don't know how to use a computer at all.
So you also have to provide me with training, which should be paid for as well.
I'm really sorry, but I don't think we have an opening for a position like that right now.
Well, then what about Harold, your husband? He's an illustrator or something like that, right? I can probably draw okay. So how about you ask him to hire me as an assistant? Just make sure I'm getting paid at least $30 an hour, okay?
I'm sorry, but I wouldn't even hire you for $5 a house.
What is that supposed to mean?
I mean that I'm really glad you want to work, but you need to do a little more research about how job hunting works. There are plenty of part-time jobs that require no experience, and I would look into those first.
Wait. No, please! You really aren't going to hire me?
To be honest, you haven't really given me many good reasons as to why I should. Work on your skills and come back to me, and then maybe we can talk.
Please, don't go! I've tried applying for these jobs, but they were also so stupid, so I gave up.
You gave up looking for other jobs?
Yeah, but I have to find something this week or else Tom is going to leave me. He's been so mad and I really think he might do it. So I really need a job.
You mean that he's really going to go through with it? I thought he was just bluffing.
So did I. But when I got back home, I realized that he was serious about this. He really expects me to find a job. Working a job should be way easier than taking care of the house and raising a kid. Why can't Tom just make more money like the other husbands at the preschool? You know, I asked Tom something just like that. And that was when he seemed to get more upset with me.
Yeah, it sounds like you're kind of ignoring everything he's been trying to impress upon you.
And now, he's telling me that I have to find a job no matter what. He said it doesn't matter what it is. I just have to find something. And if I don't, then he's going to leave me.
Wow, I don't think I've seen my brother that upset with someone.
I tried to reason with him, but he wouldn't have any of it at all. So now I've been looking for jobs, but I can't find any. I told people that I don't want to do the work where I'm standing all day, and that I want to be paid more than they are offering. And they all turned me down.
Well, it sounds like you need to settle for something, or else your marriage is going to be over.
That's why I'm coming to you. Hoping to find a job that I wouldn't mind doing as much. Please, even $20 an hour would be great.
I won't lie. I hope that Tom does divorce you. He gave you clear conditions to prevent this. And you're making this way more difficult than they need to be.
So you're saying you don't care if my husband leaves me?
I think that him and your son would both be happier if he did. Anyway, I can't help you. And this is a problem between you and my brother. So leave me out of it. Good luck with the job hunt. After that whole mess, Agnes went on a frantic job hunt and finally landed a gig at a gas station, narrowly avoiding getting divorced by Tom. Now that she's working, it seems like Agnes is starting to appreciate the value of putting in a hard day's work. Good for her, I suppose. On the flip side, my brother Tom hasn't exactly let Agnes off the hook just yet. Sure, they've stopped throwing around the D word, but that doesn't mean everything is all rainbows and unicorns between them. Rumor has it that Tom has scored a new job, and apparently it pays way better than his previous one. He even let me in on his little secret plan of saving up to make the divorce process go smoothly. It pains me to see my little brother going through all this. But hey, at the end of the day, I know Tom is making choices he believes are best for himself. It's his life, his decisions. Who am I to judge? I just hope whatever path he takes ultimately leads to his happiness, even if it means sailing away from poor Agnes.